That's it.
And we're doing it.
We're doing it.
And we're doing it.
Hell yeah.
Another one.
Another one in the books.
Two Condries talking.
It's number 9, right?
Number 9.
Number 9.
Something like that.
Okay, so
I don't know.
You know what's cool? In Chinese, the number 9. Do you know how to say the number 9?
How do you say it?
Zhou.
Zhou.
That's my name.
So you're number 9.
I'm number 9.
You're number 9.
Yeah.
But in China.
Yeah, in China. So this
Over here, you're number 1. No.
Right. That's
You're not.
smooth.
Sorry.
Looking for a raise, aren't you? I have to pay you first.
It's all up from here, baby.
Right. So, anyways, yeah, no. So that was
We're
a cool
here,
one.
just the two of us tonight.
Yeah, just the 2 of us.
Oh, but it's two Condries talking. That's how it's gonna be.
It's all good. Yeah.
So what are we gonna talk about tonight?
Well, so I was telling you about in Chinese what my name is, right?
You did.
Or no, not my name. I told you how to count in Chinese.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
one number.
I know one number, Joe.
One number, Joe.
I
right?
know nothing else.
I could teach you number 8.
What's number 8?
Ba.
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 So sheeps know they can count in
It's
Chinese.
I'm not even joking.
Yeah, sheep in China, like sheep can count in China as much or
Yeah.
Chinese as well as I can.
Pretty much.
Ba.
They got one.
And Joe.
And you can knock out 8
so
to
maybe
9.
I'm better than them, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You say 89. So anyways, the reason we brought this up, though, actually that happened to work out. But the reason that it works is that we were going to talk about traveling, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, and China.
Well, that's the one that I have a lot of experience with. But everybody likes to travel, right?
I mean, no, I guess not. I mean, some people don't like to travel. Like, I would say normal people like to travel. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no, because that's the thing. You normally see damn near everyone. They're like, oh, I love traveling. Oh, I love traveling. Everybody loves traveling. Or at least
For most of my life, I didn't like to travel.
They like traveling.
I didn't like to travel most of my life, but recently it's become a thing of mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. How so?
Well, it's just, I mean, there's a lot. All right, so wouldn't you say there's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot of business. There's a lot of like work that goes into traveling. You got to like plan it out if you want to do it efficiently. Because if you don't plan it out, then you'll be like spending even more money. So that's one problem is it can be expensive.
Oh yeah, well, travel.
Another work, you got to plan it out.
Right.
Another thing is you're in like strange places, like doing like it's like a break from your routine.
Yeah.
And
well, that's probably why people like it.
In my
right?
immaturity, I wasn't able to deal with that as well. But now I'm mature, so I can deal with like being in strange places. I can even appreciate it more.
Keep telling that, Sheil. But
well, I mean, here's the thing: is I would love to travel more, but I've never left the country, and so that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. Is the fact that I am someone who wants to travel and see the world. However, I've never left the country, but you are someone who maybe you've never like been totally driven to like leave, but you've been to China
because that's
and you've
the
been
opposite.
around.
Is that there was a huge push to leave. Like a lot of people experience that. I figure as you grow up, and it's like the same story you hear over and over again. It's the small town. You've lived there your whole life. You just got this like itch to get out, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not alone. There's a lot of people who've got that same thing. I'm sure. But
even though we don't live in a small town.
Right.
Or we live in the biggest small town. Maybe.
Yeah, we live in like that's Galt.
I think we. I feel like
town.
we live in the smallest big town, or is that Reno?
Yeah, that's the littlest big city in the world.
Fuck Reno. They're trying to take our shit
just
all
full
the time.
Of crack though, and meth. It's the biggest little city. That's it. We need to get around an intercom going.
Sacramento is that though. So Reno. For the record, Reno, you suck. That should be our title. We should usurp. We should usurp that title from Reno because I think we deserve it more. But that's a topic for a different episode when we only have the two of us on here. But today we're going to talk about traveling. And what's the question, right? Because are we operating off a question of some sorts? Like
no, we're just talking.
We're just talking about traveling.
So tell me, why do you want to travel?
Because I want to see different places. I want to like.
Why?
I want to understand how they're different and similar than Sacramento.
Okay, so like.
And also, it's just nice to see new things, right? Like in person. I mean.
Yeah. No. Well, so here's the one for me that gets me. It's like when you go on. It's like the adventure thing, right?
Oh, the story. It's all about the story.
It's kind of for the story. Well,
okay.
Why do you do damn near anything that you do that's not really necessary? It's to
have
experience.
Fun.
It's new experiences.
Yeah.
Right. And so that can be accomplished in a lot of ways. A really common way is to go on like traveling. That's an adventure. I mean, we used to do the thing where back when Taryn lived here, even when he didn't, we both had the DRZs, and we go take him, throw him in the truck. We'd drive up the hill.
I'm sorry. You know how tech illiterate I am. Like DRZ, is that
So
a bike?
DRZ,
Is
no,
that a quad?
so DRZ is a motorcycle that's like an off-road and on-road style.
Okay.
It's called Supermoto, but it was
Right
the way
on.
we had them
Oh,
configured.
okay.
But it's basically a motorcycle that's street legal, but it's got really crazy suspension.
Oh, okay. Wait.
The white bike out there.
Oh, so they're kind of like dirt bikes, right?
Yeah, they're basically dirt bikes with license plates and headlights.
So wait, in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, they'd be like the Sanchez, right? You remember?
Don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember your motorcycle?
remember
Okay. Yeah, you gotta
Grand
remember your
But yeah, that
motorbikes.
sounds about right. Yeah.
You gotta speak my language, man.
So yeah, we'll go with for the non-motorcycle literate people out there, it'd be the Sanchez from Grand Theft Auto.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
I feel, yeah, okay.
yeah. So we take
Same
those
page.
and we go up the hill and we go and just drive them on some cool curvy roads, and then to the point where we're like, hey, there's a sweet little dirt trail. And we take the dirt trail and go off road into the woods, right? And just jump over logs and stupid shit and find fire roads, whatever it was.
Yeah,
the idea was
you're kind of frontiering, you're pioneering.
right. I mean, granted, it's not like we're gonna discover new land or anything. It's
No,
all,
well, it's all new to you,
yeah, but it's new to us.
and that's
And
all
so
that matters.
That's the point. That's why I think traveling's dope, is because people who watch or enjoy traveling, it's not to go and just, well, no, that's bullshit. A lot of people probably do it for the Instagram. They do it for the gram.
That's actually, I was talking about that with a friend earlier today, right?
Right.
So there's a spot like last year up in Auburn. We went hiking up there,
Yeah.
and it was beautiful. It looks like Ireland.
Like Lake Clementine or?
Well, I don't know, to be honest. I just know it's
Yeah.
somewhere in Auburn, up in the hills,
Yeah.
you know. But anyways, it's like great, you know. It's a typical, like, it's a place where you go to a parking lot, you park your car. People are maybe taking their horses out there. Maybe they're like bringing their kids or dogs, whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's a common spot. It's beautiful. You cross a bridge, but it's amazing because this time of year, like everything's super green. You have that like what would be summer grass, what would be all like brown and shitty looking
Yeah.
in like June or July.
It's just
Right now,
blooming. Yeah.
seriously, it looks like fucking like Dublin or something. You know,
Yeah.
it's beautiful, like green hills of
Little
Ireland.
waters and everything going on.
Yeah, there's
But
like
yeah.
all the and all like especially last year when there was more like the streams were fuller and stuff. It was
Yeah.
like especially more beautiful. But from what I've heard, now it's like this year, if you want to go out to that same spot, you have to make a reservation. Because
Really?
like I said, we parked there last year, so
Yeah.
it's a place where everyone goes, and so more people are going out there. And from what I've heard, yeah, it's people just like fucking taking selfies next to a waterfall.
So
Can you
there's-
blame them? Because I like to do it
Yeah.
too. I don't take many selfies, but if I'm going to take a selfie, it's probably going to be near a
Well,
waterfall.
yeah, there was an article I read a while back, and it was something to the effect of millennials are ruining traveling because they're not traveling anymore for the experience. They're traveling to go get a selfie in a place that's just basically to post it on social media.
Yeah.
Right? They're not actually there for like, oh, I want to go experience what it's like to be in England. They just want to show people, hey, I'm Bob bougie or whatever, and
I think that's
go to
okay.
England.
I think it's okay to go out in nature for like an
For the
artistic
purpose
reason,
of-
for the purpose of just like increasing your vanity. Because you know what, if that's
all right. It's a good way to
because
look at it, yeah.
the alternative would be that they just don't go to nature at all. That they go to
Right.
nature for the reason that you want them to,
Right.
to like
Well-
have some kind of like fucking like.
So here's a kick. Here's one that gets. So there's things that, of course, traveling all around the states is going to be good for you. You know, because you're going to get out of California alone.
Yeah.
California, I love the place, but it's got kind of a tunnel vision. Just definitely, you go to other states and you're going to see people thinking and doing different things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's the same when you go outside of the nation, right? You go
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah, it's beneficial to leave
It's good for
America.
you. Yeah, well, it's beneficial for the whole. If more of our people go elsewhere and see things elsewhere in the world, then it's less that you see on TV. It's more that you're actually there. You're like, no, I know how it actually is there. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it. But here's the thing: if a lot of people aren't interested in just going and exploring for the sake of exploring, apparently. But
Because they're wimps.
if going right, but if going for the gram gets them out the door and gets them into another place, and they happen to see something that maybe changes their perspective on life while they're out there doing it for the gram,
Yeah,
mission accomplished. They just learned something.
That's where I'm at. Now, I mean, it is kind of funny that people are like going to these like strange places just so they can get that selfie and stuff like that. But you know what?
Right?
Screw it. Like, at
Make it
least they'll
play,
have a
right?
story, you know? But, I mean, so that's one aspect of traveling, right? That's one reason why we go out and travel, right? Is for the story. So, like, you know, so you can have experiences that you can tell people about.
Yeah.
But there's also the whole like, does it make you like, does it help you find yourself? Do you feel like
okay.
traveling? Do you feel like traveling helps you find yourself? So you have experience traveling. You've left the country.
Yeah,
Now it wasn't. You didn't go on a traveling trip for the purpose of say finding yourself. You did it for business.
But that's a good question.
But
though,
you can learn about yourself on an out of country visit like you did, where it's for work. You know, you can still like have that like. You know, character building exercise, I suppose.
Work will do that to you, period, too. Like,
yeah,
not
that's
just,
true.
You know,
yeah.
not locking it down, period, to traveling. But, like, a lot of the weird jobs that you find yourself in, you know, that's just, we'll sidetrack real quick, and I'll start there. But there was, God, it's like one of the first jobs I ever had. It was local. I didn't go anywhere for this. And I worked for this guy named Lupe.
Okay.
And he had a photography studio. Has a photography studio.
What kind of a photography studio?
It's a boudoir photography studio. Uh-oh. And so, essentially, we get into all sorts of crazy shenanigans, right? Because of the way that this, not just the way he operated the business, but it was like, between doing photography, we'd also have to move equipment from place to place. Okay. And then I was just kind of like a hired hand.
So you weren't always working in the same studio, you were working all over the place?
No, multiple studios. We'd travel, or we'd go on like location site visits or whatever. What else? We'd help. I know that I helped his son and like friends of his move lots of stupid shit from place to place. And that alone created story. Like there's times that we're towing cars or whatever in really strange and probably illegitimate ways. And like parts of it would fly all over the road because we're going over we're doing things early in the morning so nobody catches us. But it's the experience of jobs.
This is like under several tables at least.
Yeah, at least a few tables.
Very under the table. I
shouldn't have dropped his name. It's the first name.
The first name only.
Hard to find. Anyways, but the point is that was kind of my intro in life to like crazy jobs and how weird things can get.
You got to make that dough, though.
Well, no, that's the thing is like paying the mortgage. What's the biggest excuse that people have for doing some crazy shit?
From my family.
Yeah, it's for the family, or got to pay the mortgage.
It was good enough for Walter White. It's good enough for me.
Right. We got bills to pay. And so, essentially, that's what led me into the last gig that I had, not the one I'm currently in, but where I was working for a company and we were traveling all over the place, doing installations. And, so... essentially what's the way it just leads you to weird gigs because I never thought that I'd find myself at least once a week or more often, sometimes once a day, on an airplane traveling from like a province to a province or a state to a state or something like that, or sometimes multiple times per day. Like I'd land, do a job, get back on a plane, go to another state. I'd visit like 2 or 3 states in a day, just
that was back with D3, right?
Yeah, there's that. But we can't talk about particular clients of D3 because
okay.
So I want to make that stated right now. There's signatures and things we have to sign. So I can say that much.
So we'll just say D3 work.
Yeah, exactly. So that's okay to say, but particular clients, because of confidentiality, I'm not going to. So I'm going to make that aware for you so you don't say it because you do know. But
I'm glad that you mentioned that, Joe, because we're very fortunate to have a very prolific podcast. You know, like a lot of people,
we got all 3 of our viewers.
A lot of people watch this,
right.
And so what we talk about that tends to direct the national conversation on things, and so
we don't want to.
We have to be careful of what we want in that national conversation.
We don't want to break that can open right there.
So, what kind of experiences have you had while traveling that you would say were like fucking moments where you're just like, what the hell am I doing?
Oh, dude.
How did I end up here? Like, have you ever been like, how did I end up here?
There was definitely.
How did my life lead me to this point?
There was one particular. There's a lot, but there's one in particular that I remember. That exact moment. It was who knows what time American, because it was 3 or 4 a.m.
China doesn't have our same time. They don't.
No, it's all fucked. So, and I'm
they live in a different world than us.
Yeah, I had a different phone because my iPhone didn't work there very well because I had or what was it? No, it would just cost
because you believe in democracy,
right? And so I had a different phone, and I'm everything I do, I have to run through translators and all that.
Yeah.
And I found myself, I'm in a server room at like fucking 4 a.m. trying to do some sort of firmware update, and it's like mission critical that this happens before 6 a.m. and I hit one of those walls where I'm just like, I'm boned because I don't know exactly why something fit. Like, there's errors. It's all like proprietary software that I'm working with, and so it's not like I can just jump on Google. Even if I could, there's no Google in China, so I'm fucking boned there too. And so I was like, I'm relying on literally like 2 resources, and it's 2 guys that are back here in the States, and I'm like, wake up, like whatever time it is here.
Wake up.
I'm just like, come on, I need this. And so I had no response for like half an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kept banging my head against this software wall that I'm trying to like work my way through. It's not working. I can't do it. So I'm like starting to get really tired because I'm on who knows what time. I think I'd flown there not too long earlier. Or something.
So you're like dealing with the whole like
a 16-hour jet lag or something.
Yeah,
like
jet
that.
lag.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so it's like the jet lag's kicking me, and there's like the stress, but also the thing I'm like, I'm not getting anything done. And I hadn't eaten because it's like straight off.
Oh, you getting hangry?
I'm getting hangry, and so I literally like had my sweatshirt in my backpack, and I kind of like laid down on the server cold like tile
I need
floor.
to take a nap.
I put my backpack under. I'm like, guess this is it for now. Like, there's nothing better to do. So I set alarms for like 20-minute intervals to keep checking on if I get an update. And
the ideal vacation in China.
Yeah, oh man, but it's like little shit like that where I'm just like, man, and I positioned myself when I went to sleep behind a few of the bigger servers because they got the exhaust fans on the back that blow out some like warmth because they keep them cool. You know, server rooms, if you've ever been in one.
Yeah, you have to.
They're like 50, 60 degrees.
Because you have to make do for all the heat that's being put out by the machines.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I went right next to the machine that was putting out the heat and laid down, kept warm, and fell asleep for a few minutes. And but as I was like kind of curled up back there, I'm like, man, what the fuck led me to this point where I'm in the other side of the world from all my friends having fun, probably on a boat.
But
it's like in the middle of summer, you know?
That sounds like a pretty shitty job, but like you could have a shitty job like that in America.
Oh yeah, well no, it's not, because overall I enjoyed it. It's the challenge too. It's fun.
Because the communication barriers, right? That's one of the challenges.
Yeah, that's one of the challenges. Well, there was another guy that I was doing. He's a friend of mine, and we were both traveling all over, and it was like this neat what do we call it? Logistical challenge. Because he'd say like, this has to be fixed at this time, and it's in this province, and we're literally like sitting there with his tablet, and we got the map of China, and then like our phones open with plane tickets, you know, and we're like, okay, so we're both in this city down here. If I fly you 800 miles to there, you can be there by this time. You can fix this. 3 hours later, you can get back on a plane, be over 500 miles over there. And he's like, meanwhile, I'm going to have these parts that I'm going to pick up here. I'm going to fix that, meet you at this second point. Like, it was this really cool intermingling logistical craziness.
Yeah.
It worked. And a lot of times it's like by the hair of our backs, but it fucking worked, you know? And that was fun. That was like a thrill. Because not only that, then it's like, he'd put me in a new city. He's like, all right, you know how to get around? He's like, here's the hotel you're staying at. You know, he just sent me the confirmation email from where I'm staying. And I'd use a little app on my phone to like translate it, find a taxi, like show him my phone, figure it all. Like, you learn these little tools. Of course, he actually learned how to speak Chinese. But
a lot of it's adapting though, right?
It's adapting, but so this is a conversation that me and a few people have had. Like, some people are just more adapted for it.
Okay.
You know, so...
What kind of people?
Well, so it's the ones that generally enjoy a thrill.
Okay.
Versus
after
those
the challenge.
versus those that, like, when shit hits the fan...
Kind of like me, where they freak out over every detail. Be like, well, I have to do the thing.
Like, oh my god, there's this and this and this. No! And then you just, like, stop working, right?
I can't do it.
So that's the
I
one
feel like I would
versus...
give that up, though, if I was, like, traveling abroad, because I would expect a challenge. I'd be like,
Right.
I need to just be ready for like something to go wrong in some way that I don't even expect.
Right.
Because I'm in a different place.
Yes, but see, that's the fun part to me, is that it's going to happen, and it's like there's this confidence when you do it a bunch of times that you're going to be able to handle it no matter what.
Of course, anything that we can do multiple times, we can, like, they become a habit almost, you know?
There's, and I won't name the name, but there's at least one friend I know that it's just like, when too many things start happening, it's been compared to him running around like a chicken without a head.
They get overwhelmed.
Yeah, they get over, and it's just like things don't work. And
Yeah,
it
they're
be
overstimulated. It's like
yeah, and it happens, and so it's like that particular person would need a little more. They could probably adapt eventually, but they're going to need more of a process to get to that point where they could travel, especially abroad.
Okay.
You know, with a different language. That's where it gets weird.
So, do you have any travel experiences that don't involve work, though?
Well, yeah, but
so
well, I mean, of course, yeah.
What's the most like strange place that you've traveled for pleasure?
Not very many strange places. I mean, nowhere outside of the states.
Okay.
All the international.
There's some pretty
stuff's
strange places inside of the states.
There's plenty of strange places
that are very foreign. Like
yeah,
the state of Jefferson.
The state of Jefferson, yeah.
Like the state of Jefferson.
There was a bus I saw the other day that was an actual state of Jefferson bus.
God bless him.
He was camping out in the 24-hour fitness parking lot.
That's awesome.
Probably mooching off the Wi-Fi or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. Man.
I mean, I've never left. See, here's the thing.
You?
So here's my background. I've never left the states, which is one of my biggest regrets. Yeah. But I'm 24.
You're also 24, dude. Most people don't leave until they're blank. Years old.
My philosophy is like, I've never had permanent residence outside of Sacramento County, ever. Right. And I feel like if I would ever have permanent residence outside of Sacramento County, I kind of would rather just live outside the country.
Really?
But, yeah.
Just go balls to the wall, leave Sacramento, and then
because there's nowhere in the country that I'd really rather live. Maybe then if I were doing like my master's degree or like doctorate, but then again, you could do those outside the country too, and that would be pretty awesome. So let me talk a little bit more about that. I've never left the country. Like the closest I've gotten, I've done back in 8th grade, we did a trip to the East Coast.
You did the DC trip.
I did the DC trip.
Yeah.
I went and this was an interesting time because this was like several years after 9/11.
Right.
So like security's still pretty high. Like I think when we were in Washington D.C., it was always on orange alert. My bus couldn't stand still for more than a minute.
Really?
Or else, security would be like, "Hey, what are you doing?
Move along, kind of.
Oh, you got these kids. What are you doing with these kids, huh? Like, how many of them
are these real kids? Or
do they have bombs strapped to them? You know, like who are you working for? Al Qaeda?
What year?
This was 2000. This is actually 2008. Only several years though. Like after 9/11, it was still like very high. Like I went through so many metal detectors. I hate metal detectors.
Really?
Like because I would forget about like my nickel and like the deepest part of my pocket, and I'd be like, oh shit, I have to go through the machine again. And it was just like everything, every single building that you went to, they all had like metal detectors. But I mean like that East Coast trip was like the furthest I've been from home. But I mean, there's a lot of places I would love to go. I mean, China, like your experiences in China are pretty interesting.
That's only because I've been to China. That's the only reason why we keep talking about it. But I mean, where would you want to go if it wasn't? You know.
I would really like to go to like the United Kingdom.
Okay.
Britain.
Go to UK, yeah. Wait, where are those guys from the Top Gear? Where are they from?
I believe they're from Britain.
There you go.
What, like Hannah or
Jeremy
Hammond? Yeah, Jeremy Clay.
Jeremy Clark.
Yeah,
Jeremy Clark. Yeah, go meet that guy. He's cool.
And then Hammond.
Yeah, I don't know the rest of it.
But I just know he's a jackass.
Hammond. Is he the young one?
Yeah.
Because there's Captain Slow, Jeremy Clark, and then the young guy.
But I would like to go to the United Kingdom because there's there's not a language barrier. Which I mean, here's the thing: in Europe, it's like English-speaking people are fairly common. They're relatively common.
Yeah.
But I know a little bit of French too.
We're American, dude. You can go most places.
Yeah, and they'll know you're American too.
And we stick out like a sore thumb.
Which I wouldn't shy from it. You know what?
Well, you gotta play up to it. So this was the bonus when I was traveling, at least in China, is that American generally you're treated more kind of like royalty, not like royalty per se, but you're automatically treated better because you know how there's businesses that do the whole thing where they have like if they want to appear successful, they hire a white guy to be their CEO. So when their company meets another company, if you get two successful companies, there'll be two white guys that go and shake each other's hands and they talk about the company, but neither of them actually run it. They're just paid to stand there and shake each other's hand because they're white.
Man, I'm white. I can get paid for that.
Yeah. You probably have to look a little better in a suit, but, we'll get you there.
I'm working on it, man. We only look as good as we do in suits.
Right. You get there.
But as far as, like, where I would like to travel, like, United Kingdom would be a start. I would love to travel honestly, I would be down to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like
well,
anywhere.
no, so Australia.
It would be more interesting to talk about where I would like to not go, and I think one of them for
Where's
sure.
that?
Somalia.
Okay, yeah. So Somalia. Where else?
North Korea. Actually, North Korea.
North
Korea is number
Where
one
the
on the
fuck-
list of
yeah.
places where I'd rather not go to. I would really rather not go to there.
I would, yeah. So North Korea, Somalia. Where's the place where that jail is? The prison.
Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah. Getting waterboat. So that's the one where it sounds like a nice vacation until you know what it actually is. Waterboarding and
Yeah, you're
Guantanamo
listening
Bay.
to like Metallica on full blast. You're
Right.
just like, I like this song, but I'm not happy right now. Yeah. Guantanamo Bay. All right,
That'd be a
I would love to
horrible
go to
place.
Cuba though.
Oh, Cuba would be.
Yeah.
Well,
Havana is all
I've
right.
actually
Smoke
got no drive to go to Cuba. It's cool. It's probably great.
Okay,
I got
but-
no real push.
the beach though.
The beach is here.
Cuban cigars.
I don't really care.
You don't smoke cigars. Okay.
Not much. Yeah, I mean, I've
So where do you
Yeah.
want to go though?
Norway.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
What time of year? Summer.
Not sunny. Yeah, or not
Our
rainy,
summer, like northern
Yeah. So
hemisphere
that's
summer.
the cool thing is that because Norway's northern hemisphere, huh?
They're fucking north as fuck.
Yeah, they're really north. So here's the whole drive behind it is when I was like 13, I think. That's when StumbleUpon existed.
Oh.
Yeah, StumbleUpon, which was awesome. And
That was how I got into Reddit.
so I stumbled across a video of these Norwegian dudes in these things called squirrel suits. This is
Okay,
before
yeah.
it was a big deal. This is before Red Bull even got a hold of it.
Do continue.
And these Norwegian dudes were going up on top of these giant mountains and jumping off them and flying and then landing on a
Do they
parachute.
have like the
Yeah, it's
wings?
full squirrel suit. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're
This
talking
is
about.
the very beginning of it, like just because
Wow.
13, so this was 13 years ago. Fuck, 14 years ago.
That's awesome.
And
I would love to wingsuit.
Right. And so
Oh
these
my
dudes,
god.
But this is like the beginning of it because it used to be you get on wingsuit, you jump out of a plane, and you kind of like control your fall, but there's nothing around you. So what's the real point of flying if there's nothing nearby? Then these guys, after like 2 or 3 jumps, they're like, wait a minute, why are we jumping away from the mountain? Let's go right next to the mountain, like brush our hands on the side as we're going down, and that's where it got crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like this was the original is like crazy Norwegians wingsuiting. Videos in like 320p or something like that because it was so old.
So do you want to get into like? Do you want to do some like GoPro wingsuiting?
Fuck yeah.
How well do you think you would fare on that?
I think probably pretty well.
So what kind of experience do you have that can transfer into that? So you got aviation experience, right?
That doesn't. Here's the problem: is officially none of it transfers because I looked into it.
Yeah.
To get your wingsuit license, there's actually like.
There's a wingsuit.
Yeah, well, because you can kill yourself real easy.
In order to be a flying squirrel, you must prove that you are worthy
Yeah.
of being a flying squirrel.
Here's the reality is that you can go on eBay and a normal wingsuit they come in like blue and white and all
What
that.
would be
They're
your
like
color? Red?
well, they're like $5,000.
Should be the
Which
red.
you can get a red one for like $800. Because it started white, but now it's
Okay.
red. And so it's like nobody wants to wear it anymore.
Holy shit. Okay, so you would go red?
No, I don't know what color. I don't know what fucking color wingsuit I'd get.
I think you should do this. This sounds
Oh, yeah, no.
it sounds exactly like something you do.
Oh yeah, no, there's a guy I work with that he's a skydiving instructor.
Mm-hmm.
He got like I don't know 800 jumps under his belt or something like that, like a ton.
Actually, how much have you skydived?
None.
That's surprising,
Right?
actually, given your background of like risk taking.
Not like really risk taking. It's calculating risks.
You
Miscalculate sometimes.
You
but-
gotta go skydiving then.
No, we should go skydiving. I was supposed to go skydiving for my 25th birthday, but that didn't happen.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
I'm coming. Oh shit! You might have to go
for
skydiving
your
on
25th.
for another 25th.
Here's the thing. I thought about. I was gonna go for my 25th. It gets cold in November.
Okay. Oh.
It gets colder in December.
Oh, okay. So
We should go skydiving in the summer.
the
when
summer before,
because
and
it's
then
already
like
cold.
videotape it or
It's,
something.
here's the thing about altitude. It's cold here, but if we go upward, it gets colder.
What if we did GoPros?
Oh yeah, we'll throw some GoPros
And
on.
then we can like
You
make
know
the
what, we're
video
not
and then
going to
release it on the
fucking
birthday.
Loomis. No, not Loomis. Lodi. Don't go to that Lodi one.
Okay.
They're probably gonna hate me for broadcasting this to all 3 of our listeners, but
Oh no.
that Lodi, no, that place, it's like once every 6 months they have a death. It's so bad.
It's just got real.
It's horrible. Yeah, it's all bad.
Maybe we shouldn't go skydiving.
No, we can go skydiving just anywhere but Lodi. Because everywhere else, it's like 10, 20, 30 years since
What
they
about
died.
Stockton?
No, we're going north.
If you go skydiving in Stockton, you'll probably get shot still.
Yeah, you're still gonna get shot. You're gonna catch a stray bullet flying through
Like,
the air.
that was so...
We're not doing
Oh,
that.
God.
No, but okay, so here's the thing. We're gonna go skydiving. Because we gotta do that. This is one of the ones I got all excited because I was working on my pilot's license, right?
Yeah.
With the passport, the pilot's license, and I was like, I'm gonna start skydiving. I was gonna get my concealed carry. I was like, you know what we should do is like some sort of stupid adventure where we get somebody to drop us into some wilderness somewhere. Like you skydive into some wilderness with a fucking gun, and that's about it. Like a hatchet and a gun.
It sounds like a PUBG match.
And you gotta find your way back.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, keep telling, yeah.
Yeah, no, wouldn't that be? But that would be a cool experience. Like we could sell that.
Would you do like airsoft? Because I mean, obviously you can't do
you're
a
not
real.
shooting other people. You're just dropping into the wilderness and shooting deer and bears.
Oh,
and shit.
right, to survive.
To survive,
okay.
because you're gonna be in the wilderness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with your friend that you're not shooting. Like, come on.
A buddy, yeah.
Yeah,
you need a
buddy. You're not dropping two people to shoot each other in the wilderness. That's dumb. Well, probably make money off of that too, but it's not legal in the States.
Is it?
Pretty sure it's illegal.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with that.
I wouldn't have been surprised if it was legal though.
Where? Where can you go out and just shoot somebody and it'd be totally cool?
I mean, not just shoot somebody, but you know.
That's kind of what it sounds like they'd be doing, though, right?
I don't know.
But yeah, no, it's that'd be a cool way to go. But yeah, no, taking it back to the original.
Yes.
Point, where the hell would you go? Okay, so we got UK. I already told you Norway, and I told you why.
Okay. So another place. I don't know. Amazon would be cool. Amazon River.
Aren't there big ass snakes in there that'll eat you?
Yeah, I mean, so there's got to be some kind of a place where, you know, you can go, just start out easy. Like, you fight, like, the easy
mode.
snakes. Easy snakes,
Well,
you know,
so
like,
this is,
the not-so-poison dart frogs.
So now you went from, like, going to UK. Why were you going to the UK again? Just to experience crumpets and tea and stuff?
Yeah, and, like, different...
Jeff's, yep.
All right,
Jeff, hey, yeah, come on, yeah. Oh, sit down.
Pull him a chair.
What's up, guys?
What's up, man? Have a seat. Well, no, come back. Get a chair and come back. Get a chair. Get a chair. You already walked in. You're stuck now.
You gotta be on the show.
Yep.
You think you can just be on the show and then not be on the show? Like, you wish... I wish I had that duty. I wish I had the ability to just be on the show and then just appear.
No, you have to get a chair so you're on the camera. Yeah, go get a chair.
How about just voice me over?
No, it doesn't work like that.
So,
You're
we
not-
have
go
a
get a
special
chair, go get a
guest
chair.
today.
Go get
His
a chair.
name is Jeff.
Don't worry about it. But yeah, so tell me
Amazon. It's an adventure.
Okay.
All right. It's just like Indiana Jones. Don't you want to be Indiana Jones? Don't you want to, like...
It's where we're skydiving out of the fucking sky, dropping onto some...
You know what? Here's the thing. I don't know where I want to adventure. All I know is I know what I want to adventure. I don't know where, but I know what. I want to explore ancient ruins that have never been seen before in my modern eyes.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So here's one regret I have in life.
Oh, okay.
I was in fucking Jinan. It's a Chinese city. Jinan. Okay, so you remember reading about, this is what kind of gave me that whole like, ooh, you know. You remember reading about the 1,000 or the million soldier army or whatever the fuck it was?
Yeah, Terracotta Army.
Terracotta Army, where
Yes.
every single one of them has a different face.
Yes, they are.
And
Yeah.
I happen to be, because I used to go, whenever I'd land in a city, I'd quickly Google search some shit about the city. I started doing this after a few weeks. I'm like,
Did
I
you
know
go to...
nothing
Whoa.
about.
Did you...
Jinan is where they're at.
And you went to Jinan.
Well, I was so bad at using this stupid Microsoft Windows phone, and the map app on it sucked so bad that I went... Terracotta Army is what it's called. So I went and
Was it
Googled-
always called Jinan, or what?
No, that's the name of the city.
Yeah. That the army is located
Yeah,
in?
the Terracotta Army, I think it was for the king or queen or...
I can't remember the name of the... Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it was like the Sherlock
I've
theory
never
thing,
been an expert in Asian history.
Yeah,
but-
no, neither. I still ain't. But so I googled it and I was like, holy shit, this Terracotta Army is in Jinan. I was like, I'm in Jinan, and I had like 6 hours to kill, which is a big amount of time.
Yeah.
When I was like hopping from fucking city to city, And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go check these out. And I tried to Google it, and it said it was like 200 miles away. I was like, fuck, I can't go check this out. Like, that sucks. And then I left, and I think I met my friend in like Shenzhen or something like that. And I was like, dude, I wanted to check out the Terracotta Army. And he's like, oh yeah, it's only like 20 miles from where our job site was. And I was like, motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
No, well, it didn't do me any good because I was no longer in that city. Now I'm like 8,000 miles away or something.
Oh,
stupid.
you're
Yeah.
outside of the job site.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, no, we're in
hell
another fucking province at this point when I found this out.
That's a hell no, motherfucker.
That
Then.
sucked.
Yeah.
That was the only one. Like, I didn't see the big Great Wall.
That's a wonder. Yeah, no, it's a wonder of the world.
That is, but I don't really care. The Terracotta Army.
Wait,
though.
what about the Great Wall, though? Did you see the Great Wall of China?
I had a chance to see it, but I also had a chance to catch a full 8 hours of sleep.
Did you go
I took the ladder.
So you took sleep over the Great Wall.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, you know.
I actually don't really regret that.
What about, were you ever in Beijing?
That's where the Great Wall is. Or
Okay.
at least, no, hang on.
Well, also
it's in a lot of places, but
Forbidden, I think
Yeah.
there's like a Forbidden City or something like that. There's a
yeah,
Forbidden
I
City
heard that's
Palace.
cool. Didn't check that out. I slept.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I mean, you just go next time you go to China, you just check those
Yeah,
things
just
out.
check 'em
yeah.
out on there.
Next
Yeah,
time
you know.
you find yourself in China.
I also did assume that I'd be back because I went back like 3 more times and then I stopped going there.
And now you're at the point where you're like, I'm not sure next time I'm gonna be in China.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a while. You know, hopefully a long while.
Well, shit, man. You know what? Like, those are the places that everyone else goes.
No regrets.
When they go to China.
With an
Like,
A.
you saw a bunch of places that other people don't see when they go to China, right?
Probably. There's a
So,
lot of
yeah.
people in China though. I probably saw a lot of things that normal people see in China.
Maybe.
I saw a dude get blasted by a taxi. Fuck. It was
Hit? You mean, like,
yeah.
hit
He's on a little bicycle with like
vehicular
30
manslaughter.
bags. No, he was alive, but he was not loving life after that.
Okay.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Wow.
We
That's-
saw a few of those actually.
That's hardcore.
No, he just got. It was like a yard sale because he had a bicycle with like 30 bags all like bungee corded to it, and that taxi hit him, and all the bags went in the air, and he hit the ground. And like, he was unconscious for a little bit. He came up and he was yelling a lot. I don't know what they were saying, but yeah, it's crazy. That was worth it. That was neat. Fucking craziness.
Where's the next place you plan on traveling?
Changing this subject up from the Chinese dude. Well, I know the next place I'm gonna be traveling will be Vegas.
What are you gonna do in Vegas?
Hookers and blow, dude. Come on.
Well, I mean, that's
No,
given.
no. I'm going for a fucking what's it called? Convention coming up.
What,
So
like
Vegas,
the-
it's aviation.
oh,
convention, yeah.
aviation. Okay.
No, but Vegas is one of those. It's a crazy city. Have you been to Vegas yet?
I've never been to
You
Vegas.
haven't been to Vegas yet.
Yeah, I rarely leave the state.
Oh man, we're gonna have to get you to Vegas.
Yeah.
So Vegas
I'm
to
down.
me, here's what everybody loves Vegas, right? Like Vegas trips, yes, you know. The thing about Vegas is it's such a fucking dirty city. It's like, especially if you travel there yourself. Like
Yeah.
if you go and you know people and you go straight from airport through a little taxi to a casino up to like a penthouse, you're good. But if you go and actually walk the strip, you get down on ground zero, you know, that
Yeah,
city
down with
is
the people.
so fucking gross, dude.
I mean, so is San Francisco, though.
Ooh,
SF.
I think it's dirtier than SF.
Oh, damn. That's
Yeah.
saying something.
It's bad because SF's gross, right?
Yeah.
Always smells like piss.
Always. A beautiful kind of piss.
No, not just gross piss. It's fucking. I don't like
Yeah.
that city either, but at least there's less condoms on the ground in San Francisco,
Oh, God. Well, I mean, one of them is
and they
in
don't have
Sin
stripper
City.
cards. I think I gave you a stack of those, right? When I came back from Vegas. That
Yeah.
First time.
I was like, oh, boy.
Oh boy, yeah, you were
I
like
can't wait to buy all these
13, yeah.
strippers. Oh,
big old stack of cards.
oh, I got my weekend cut
Yeah,
out
I
for me.
could- We'll have to get you out to Vegas, man. It's a lot of fun.
No, that would be cool.
It's a lot of fun. But yeah. The traveling's cool. Fuck, where else would we go?
I mean, that's the thing is, I'm down to go wherever. Like,
Well, so that was the question
'Cause-
originally too, is does it change you?
does it change you?
Yeah.
Well,
Because I know you've been doing some trips to Oregon and all that. You think you're a better person or a different? You think you're better than me because you've been to Oregon?
I think it's good
But-
to. So, my big thing is I believe that like traveling, like putting yourself in environments where like everything is different, is good because I mean, yeah, it builds character and it kind of makes you like leave your comfort zone. Typically, when you leave your comfort zone, you learn more about yourself.
There is a quote, I believe, that said, "Nobody ever learns anything in their comfort zone."
Yeah,
really
it's like
quote,
if you feel safe all the time, then like that's good and all, but it's one word challenge. It's one way struggle.
Are really
and when you
it's good for you.
So when you put yourself in a place like China where everything can be potentially different, you know, like things that you're like, I didn't even realize that could be different. They're different all of a sudden.
Yeah.
All
like toilets.
It makes you think about life differently.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that like after studying history, I've realized that like people have come to the same conclusions after living like very different lives. Mm-hmm. I mean, like people in Asia and people in more like closer to Europe, they both developed farming in different places near the same time. And so, you know, it's weird the way the human experience can be universal around the world.
Right.
But there are different roads to it. And so what that means for traveling is it's like when you go to a vastly different place, it's important to find out how things can be different. That's just all I'm all about.
Yeah, well, and cause that's what I almost saw too, is at least some of the bigger takeaways. I remember like the fucking biggest one, like when I was like, I'm gonna go visit a new country. I had goddamn stars in my eyes. I'm like, I'm gonna go become a better person. I'm gonna have worldly tastes now. Yeah. And I came away just a little bit racist instead. Like before, I was totally like, why would you say something like that? Chinese people are cool. And now I'm like, Chinese people are kind of dirty. Not because it's like I'm trying to be mean. I'm just like, in China, there's some really things that we consider dirty here that are normal there. Like fucking pissing on the street. Normal thing over there. For us, that's kind of gross. It's frowned upon in society.
But maybe that's like only indicative of that particular region of China.
There's quite a few provinces that we experience this in.
And when that happens, then I mean,
it's just normal. We don't trip. I mean, granted, we piss on things all the time too. Usually when we're drunk, but it's the difference is that it's not during broad daylight usually, and in traffic. You know.
Yeah. See, I don't know anything about that because I've never been to China.
Well, no, it's not like you have to go or anything. I mean, you're gonna experience the same shit other places too. Not pissing on streets, but some sort of thing that is a societal norm for you not to do or to do, and you'll experience it different somewhere else. Yeah. Though there's other things too that you'll see that at least I'm sure this happens in multiple countries, but for me, this like aha moment I had was I was in who knows what city this was, but there's like a park, and I was like, it's after dark, I'm gonna go explore, go check it out, try to socialize, even though I can't speak to anybody. But I'm going to go, like, smile and nod and let them smile and nod at me or wave and take pictures because I'm white. And so, I'm in a lot of family albums in China.
Of course.
Because they think I'm a celebrity. Everybody, if you're white and you're walking around on the street, it's like...
They're like, we didn't realize man could be so short. Oh,
oh man.
Wow. It was a very racist accent of mine.
Anyways... So I was in this fucking park, and I see all these people, and there's like music playing, there's people flying kites and shit, doing their thing, and I hear this music start, like a song comes on, and everybody kind of slowly like walks into a formation and starts doing this dance, and it sounds like to me some weird Chinese anime song, I don't know what.
Chinese anime, okay.
Yeah, it was an interesting, like kind of the techno rock.
Yeah. I feel you, Doug. I'm with you, man.
So I don't know what it was, but it was an like whatever the song. But everybody had the same dance down, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like, is everybody born with this pre-programmed into their brain?" And I was like, "This is not something that you see in America."
I feel like if we want to like flip things to the other side, we should take a Chinese person and have them watch a bunch of white people do the cha-cha slide.
That was almost
that's
right.
What happened. Wouldn't it be congruent? It would be totally applicable.
That's what happened. I was like, this whole time I'm China, I'm like, that's weird.
That's their cha-cha slide. That is their cha-cha slide.
And then I came back to America, and I'm fucking at some bar where they're playing country music.
Slide
and
to
a
the
bunch
left.
of random people all get together and start doing the same dance.
Everybody, clap your hands.
Holy shit! Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird. It's totally weird.
But
like
everybody knows it. Yeah. So it's one of those that if you look at it through the filter that it's weird, it's weird. But if you realize it's the same but different, you know, that shit.
That's what helps me like make sense of other cultures is when I like when I find something really weird in a different culture, I try to find like the Western,
equivalent, yeah.
the American or Western equivalent to it.
Right.
And I feel like the cha-cha slide is probably one of the weirdest aspects of Western culture.
Macarena.
The Macarena.
You remember the Macarena?
Hey,
Yeah.
Macarena.
That.
Like, it's
But
kind of the
it's-
same
do you
thing.
remember-
It's like
they actually taught us that in school.
they did, yeah, in middle
They made
school.
us all. No, well, it was grade school for me. They made us all go stand in the MP room, and they're like, "Okay, you're gonna put your hand out. You're gonna put your hand," and then like
Yeah.
they ran us
Yes.
through the dance. Like it was a requirement in society to know this fucking
To
dance.
be an American citizen.
Yeah, and it was so weird.
Macarena if you want to be American.
So here's a kick. Something that got me is there was a girl I was talking to, and what was it? She mentioned that she lived. Yeah, she mentioned she lived in China, right, for like 3 or 4 months or years, one of the two. I can't remember which.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, it must have been a hell of an experience. And she's like, yeah, they have so much culture there, not like us. And I was like, what do you mean not like us? And she's like, we
Yeah.
don't have any culture. And I was like, no, we have a lot. It's just you see it, you're immersed in it.
Yeah.
So therefore, like the Macarena, that's part of our culture. Embarrassing as it is, it's part of our culture. Birthday parties, piñatas, all this
Yeah.
bullshit, like random things that we do that make no sense. It's all
Yeah.
American culture.
I mean, I
Versus-
guess we're gonna get like a little like topical. Yeah, it's like one of the biggest misconceptions like people have about humans in general is that like certain groups don't have culture. Everybody's got culture.
everybody does, yeah.
Everybody's got
Yeah.
culture. There's MySpace culture.
Yeah, no,
Literally MySpace
there's
culture.
internet culture. There's all sorts, like internet
Yeah.
culture is international.
Like everybody
It's-
has got culture.
Yeah.
Like if there's humans around doing things, then they're producing culture. They're producing something.
Yeah, so the idea that there is no culture in a certain place is so crazy.
And when you like start putting certain culture above other cultures, then you're like creating. I feel like you're creating like arbitrary values. You're like you're creating make believe like
Hierarchies.
indicators of like hierarchies. Exactly. You're.
Yeah.
It's all like none of it's objective.
Now,
like
granted, everything's better than Reddit culture.
Reddit culture is beautiful because I participate in it. All right.
Okay. Wait, no, not Reddit. I meant the other one.
Tumblr?
4chan, that's the one.
I mean, I used to be
Was
a part
that the
of that.
one that's the anonymous one?
Yeah, I used to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's the one I would say. 'cause
When I was 15.
a lot of them were shitheads.
I mean, I'm still a shithead for the record.
But they meant good.
But here's the
overall,
thing, though.
usually. Yeah.
The takeaway, though, is that everybody's got culture.
Right?
And it's a fool's errand to figure out whose culture is better than other culture. Because
Right.
culture, it's all shit,
Yep.
in my opinion. It's all only valuable to the person who owns that culture. But let's see here. Let's tie this back to where we're at now. Like, I think the number one thing that is valuable about traveling is you get to, like, view other people's culture. Like, it's a moment to, like, take yourself out of your comfort zone. Because your comfort zone is the comfort zone is you surrounding yourself with culture that you like, that you know you like. It's tried and
Yeah.
true. Tried and true. You've experienced it. It's good. Traveling is all about, like, finding different cultures and maybe finding new things that you like.
Trying things out, yeah.
Looking at things from a different perspective. And realizing that, like, hey, you know what? Maybe this thing that I thought was going to be weird is actually kind of cool.
I think that's, or quite the opposite, finding out things that you thought would be cool
Suck.
turn out to suck.
They totally
It's
suck.
alright, but that's part
But
of
at least you experienced it. You can speak from a point of experience and not just speculation.
Here's the reason, and that ultimately comes down to, like, this whole life idea that there's no real, I mean, there's such things as bad experiences, but there's no thing that you shouldn't do because you're afraid.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna learn something, one way or another, from
Yeah.
the experience. Even if you try something and you fail, at least then you tried it and failed, versus the whole idea where you just don't try it because you're too scared to fail.
I mean, because if you have a bad experience, that can be a learning experience still, right?
Yeah, 100. No, that is.
Yeah.
You learn more when you fail at something. If Nike commercials have taught me anything from being a kid,
Yeah.
it's that you miss 100%
No,
of the
I'm
shots.
with you,
That you know, as fucking cliche as they are,
It's still true.
there's a reason why all this shit still is prevalent, you know, over and over and over and over again. And there's a reason why, as a society, we keep pushing that kind of idea. It's because it's good for you. I can try things, fail, suck at things. There's no way you get good at anything if you never suck at something. given point, like clear as day.
So, all right, let's to finish out the episode. Let's ask this question. All right, in the next 5 years, what's the number one place that you want to go to?
Just one number one place.
The number one place,
You got
like in the
yours
next 5 years.
You
Yeah,
got
I've
yours?
got mine
Yeah,
down
okay.
because I haven't been anywhere, so my list is a lot more open than yours.
Well, I've got one fucking place
'Cause
checked
I-
off.
North Korea,
International. Yeah. I made it to international.
fucking Pyongyang. Yeah, I'd rather not go
No,
there.
no.
You can even get more than one place if you want.
Well, yeah, no. There's plenty of ways we can go about that. Because I was gonna throw something stupid out, like I want to visit the ice wall at the edge of the earth, but.
Yeah, the Discworld. Yeah.
Honestly, I think it'd be cool to either check out Ireland, right? Go
Ireland. Yeah, Ireland.
I
Would be
get
cool.
along with Irish people pretty well.
Nice.
So
Yeah, you've got a history of that.
yeah, no, it's cool. Like I've had
You met
random
those
events.
Irish people in Vegas.
Yeah, there's a few other. Yeah, Irish people
Well,
are cool.
You should tell that story.
For another time.
Okay.
It'll come up. But there's that. Sweden.
Sweden, yes.
Yeah.
Norway.
So
yeah,
I originally
yeah,
wanted to go to
Scandinavia.
Norway, and then I looked up Norway, and it turns out that they generally don't like Americans. Versus Swedish people
They
really
would like you.
Americans.
Yeah. Wait, Norway doesn't like America?
Norwegians do not like Americans, apparently. Kind of
Okay.
like how French people are just fucking snooty to Americans.
Is that a Parisian thing, like people from Paris, or is that like a French thing at large?
I don't know.
I think it's a Parisian thing. I think
We
it's,
could ask Google one of these days.
go to Champagne.
Champagne.
Yeah, in France, and you'll probably get a
I
warmer.
think it's called Champagne, France.
That's heresy. Champagne.
I'm
Go,
pretty sure
Joe, go to Champagne, France, and they will love your American ass. All right, they will
I'm
love
pretty
you.
sure.
I don't want to hear any more of it. All right, let me tell
Where do
you.
you-
Let me tell you where I
Are you
want to
saying
go.
that
All
to be
right,
funny or not? I wasn't sure.
I would love to go to my most fascinating city. I would like to go to Istanbul
Yeah?
in Turkey.
Is that the one that's got the thing from the Last Crusade?
Oh shit! No, wait, you talking
Because
about Petra?
you thought I wasn't gonna be able to tie this into a Harrison Ford movie today, but
Oh, shit!
yeah, I think it's Istanbul.
They may have gone to Istanbul at some
That's
point
where
in
the
Indiana
temple
Jones.
or the
the-
Holy Grail is.
That's Petra. That's Petra, which is in like Jordan. I think that's in Jordan.
Okay, that sounds about right.
Wait, I hear Rob yelling.
That's no, he's just conversating with Jeff in there.
Oh, okay.
It's our
Never mind.
studio people being assholes.
Fucking, we have a recording zone, and they don't
I
respect
should
that.
probably soundproof the recording this recording zone.
We need more funding.
But
Jesus.
we're ruining everything.
Our
yeah,
guest
have a
needs to
seat,
get
have a
on
seat.
there. Come on, buddy. Join us, Jeff.
What's up, guys?
How's
Sure.
it going, dude?
Pop the.
Cheers.
Let's see. We do not have him on.
Indeed.
Not good? You can lean in.
All right, you gotta lean in. There you go.
Where's that little thing?
I don't think we can. Yeah.
Good enough.
Here,
Anyways.
we gotta get you out of the seat.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're in the shot. All right. So Jeff.
Where do you want to go in the next 5 years?
Yeah, where do you want to go? Travel. You can travel anywhere. Where would you travel?
Well, San Diego.
San Diego.
I have no idea.
Grab the
I'm
other
not a traveler. I've been to Alaska. That's about it.
one. Alaska.
It's really probably be really loud.
No, it's supposed to be right.
I had a friend who did fishing in Alaska. Oh, that doesn't have an XLR.
You need that.
Can we put
It's
this
right
in?
here, Willie. Around the. No, we're not flipping that back and forth. We're about to close this up. It's falling apart. We're calling it. We're done. We're done here. All right, guys. This is it.
That was fun, guys. Thank
All right.